Well, guys, Tom Brady's future remains in question, and one anonymous NFL exec thinks all signs are pointing to an exit from New England. The exec believes that Brady negotiated his contract to expire after this season because, quote, Brady got to the point where he'd had enough. It wasn't as fun. So, Shannon, your reaction to this?
Hold on, wait a minute. It wasn't fun anymore. He negotiated his contract. Jenny, if I'm not mistaken, and I looked this up 4 times, Tom Brady renegotiated his contract in August. In February, he won his 6th Super Bowl. Now, with Lane Johnson, they ripped Lane Johnson when he said they seem robotic. They're not having fun. They're winning, but they're not having fun. Tom Brady and a lot of other Patriots, winning is fun. Coach Belichick even took a shot after they beat the Philadelphia Eagles this year. Well, that was sure fun. Making reference to winning. Now, all of a sudden, Tom Brady renegotiated his contract, get out of it after a year because he wasn't having fun. Everybody, I'm trying to rack my brain. I've been following football, professional sports, not just football, but professional sports for a long time. And I can honestly say, and I got a photographic memory, I can't recall people that have made so many excuses for why a player didn't have success. Not Jenny, he wasn't having fun. He had a foot injury. It's a report he had to dealing with a foot injury. He had an elbow injury. It's all these excuses, except Tom Brady's getting old, and he's not the same guy anymore. Simple as that. And it's okay. It happens. Because you're telling me now, if Tom Brady, they say, well, give him some help. If the guy that we coined the phrase for, he does more with less, can't do it with the same tier player that he once could, obviously, he's not the same. That's what one would deduce from that statement. Stop making all these excuses. Now it's not fun anymore. You just won the Super Bowl 5 months earlier. His 6th Super Bowl, and now he's not having fun. It comes down to we got to find a reason why Tom Brady's season didn't go as well as we thought it would. Maybe it's not he's not having fun. Maybe it's the heel. Maybe it's his elbow. Yeah, it's the receivers. It's yada, yada, yada. He's 42. It happens to everybody, Skip. This is some and remember, Jenny, earlier, they lost to the Ravens. There was some anonymous exec.
Oh, yeah.
Tom Brady, Bill didn't want to show everything.
Saving it.
Yeah, we saved it. He didn't want to show everything. Anytime the Patriots...
That was on defense, not on offense.
Whoa, Skip.
No, not fair. Whoa. It's just what he coaches. He doesn't coach offense. So don't whoa, accept it.
No, they said...
Belichick didn't show on defense to Lamar and company what he would show in the championship game.
Okay, so, but Josh McDaniels showed everything. So that's why he only got 20 points, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
So there we go again.
But it's hard when you don't have the football when the other team's running for over 200 yards on your team and controlling the clock.
But when you get the football, what do you do with it?
Well, tell me when it's my turn.
So all I'm saying is, Skip, it's as simple as this. Tom had a disappointing season. It happens. He's not the same Tom Brady. That doesn't mean he's not a good player, but he's not the Tom Brady that we all know and love. And it happens to everybody. Every great player in the history of sports have gone through this transition. Tom Brady just happens to be the next great player that's entering this transition.
Is it my turn?
It's your turn.
Okay, I'm going to say this one more time, and I'm not going to pile on, but you have been wrong about Tom Brady for 4 straight years, and you're going to be wrong about him for a 5th year when he winds up with the Los Angeles Chargers and a real football team next year instead of one built by a coach who has failed him repeatedly.
How he's failed him?
Do you want me? Look, thank you. Do I have time now? Is it my turn? Is it my turn? Thank you.
You got a couple minutes.
Because I got a whole lot of ways that Bill Belichick has let down Tom Brady, and it starts 2 years ago with the fact that he tried to go forward with Jimmy Garoppolo. How would you like it? Would you have fun playing for that coach? Tell me, how would you feel? I know your ego. You would not ever have fun playing for that coach.
I'd have been disappointed.
You would know in the back of your mind, every step you took on the football field, he didn't want me, he didn't want me, he didn't want me. Am I right?
Yeah. Bitter.
Okay, and all he did after that was to go to one Super Bowl and throw for an all-time playoff record 505 yards and put up 33 points. And then he went back to another Super Bowl and he won that one. Well, that's pretty good after the coach tries to get rid of you, right? Okay, now let's look at the many, many ways that Bill Belichick has been let off the hook for how he has failed as the team builder. Is he not in charge of building this football team?
Everything.
Okay, the first one was just a bad break because they got docked for Deflategate. I'm going to go back to 2016, and they lost their first-round pick.
Right.
And maybe if Belichick had seen fit, he might have been able to go for a receiver or tight end that was on the board when they were going to draft late in the first round. Could have been Hunter Henry, who obviously went to the Chargers. Could have been Sterling Shepard next, who went to the Giants, who's pretty good. But wait a second, and there's this other guy left on the board in the second round, and I don't think Bill Belichick is good enough drafting receivers to have seen this one coming, but Michael Thomas was on the board at that point.
But you got to realize now, not taking a tight end, Skip, he had Aaron Hernandez rest his soul, whatever he did, what he did, and they had Gronk. So why would you take a tight end when you got those two guys on your staff?
But I'm saying Aaron Hernandez was gone by then.
Not in 2016?
Yes, he was. Wasn't he gone by then? I thought he was.
I thought he was. That feels
sure he was
like
gone by 2016.
I'm not sure. I can look it up.
Yeah,
but I'm not sure.
Okay,
he might have won.
Whatever. Okay, so now I'm going to go down all the list of all the receivers Brady had and then did not have.
Okay.
They drafted Aaron Dobson, and I thought he was going to be pretty good, and then he just failed, and they cut him. They went and got Brandon LaFell, and he was pretty good for a while, and then Belichick cut him. And then they had Martellus Bennett just for one season, and Belichick said, he's going to be too expensive, I'm going to cut him. Then he had Brandon Cooks, who really had a great run as a Patriot, and he said, I'm not going to pay him. I'm going to take a first-rounder for him and send him to Los Angeles, right? Then he did draft Malcolm Mitchell in the second round, who had one big flash in that Super Bowl comeback against Atlanta. He caught 6 balls for 70 yards, and he got hurt, had a bad knee injury, and was completely gone for his career. Then let's look back at what happened going into that Philly Super Bowl. They had Rob Gronkowski, but they had Edelman, Amendola, and Hogan. And then they had Brandon Cooks, who got hurt in that Super Bowl, but he was still there. And they also had little Deion Lewis on top of James White, on top of Rex Burkhead. That's pretty good, right? And then they had James Devlin at fullback, who had made the Pro Bowl, and he got hurt this year and was not there the whole year. So that's when Tom Brady was at his greatest, because he threw for an all-time playoff record, 505, with that receiving core, because that's a good one, with Gronk leading the charge, right?
Yes.
Okay, so then what happened? Danny Amendola becomes a free agent. Belichick won't pay him, just says go.
Well,
go.
Skip, you know he wasn't going to pay him, Skip, because he had already taken a pay cut 2 years in a row just to stay.
Okay, I'm just saying, he's doing this to Tom Brady. You think Brady loved it that he let Danny go?
It's Tom Brady's fault, because he took... Skip, he took less than market value.
That should mean you get to keep Danny Amendola.
No, he won't do it.
So you had Edelman, Amendola, and Chris Hogan. And as soon as Chris Hogan hits free agency, no, I'm not going to pay him.
Yes.
Okay, so your little three, I'm not going to call them big three because they're like little three, the 3 little white guys who they're all pretty good. Brady trusted all 3 of them. All of a sudden, 2 of them are gone, and then the third one, Edelman, right?
Yeah.
He's the only one this year that Tom Brady trusted. And what happened, Mr. Sharp, this year to Julian Edelman? He got beat all to hell, and he led the NFL in drops. So your primary target, the only one you trust of all the wide receivers, you can't trust him either, because he's going to lead the league in drops, and he had a crucial drop late in the game against Tennessee on Saturday night. Then let's continue, shall we? How about Nick Chubb? He's on the board, and Belichick says, no, I'm going to take his teammate. I'm going to take Sony Michel. I think Nick Chubb's better. I'm sorry, Belichick. You look pretty bad on that one. And then you take N'Keal Harry, and again, I'm not going to be a hypocrite on this because I really like N'Keal Harry, and I applauded Bill Belichick for taking the first receiver in the first round he's ever taken in New England. But wait a second, then A.J. Brown went to Tennessee. Is he good? Is he better than N'Keal Harry? Sure looks like it. How about Debo out in San Francisco? Does he look better? Yes, he does. How about DK Metcalf? How about him? Woo.
Yeah, he looks good.
And then how about Terry McLaurin? Every time I turned on the Redskins game, he was unstoppable, right? Because he can fly.
But Skip, you make it seem like Coach Belichick is not drafting receivers. He's just drafting the wrong receivers. But he's trying to get him some help, Skip. If you look at it, he took N'Keal Harry. He took Mohamed Sanu. Skip, it's not like he's sitting on his hands like, I'm not getting anybody.
But you're taking the wrong one. And I'm going to give all of them high marks. They all said, give us Antonio Brown. And for one game, he caught 4 balls for 56 yards and a touchdown against Miami. Miami. It was 43-0.
Yeah.
That what a turnaround that was. That was AB in that game, and then the last game of the year they lose at home to Miami, which ended the season.
Well,
Basically.
they got 2 pick sixes. Collins had a pick 6, and Gilmore had a pick 6.
They did. Okay. So then you have a chance. You could go get Emmanuel Sanders.
Right.
He's playing pretty well for San Francisco. And he got Mohamed Sanu. He's a bust. It was a swing and a miss.
I said it.
You said it.
I don't know why you wouldn't get Emmanuel over Sanu. Emmanuel can still play. Emmanuel is still explosive. That made no sense to me. Now, Greg Skill, I think Mohamed Sanu is a couple of years younger. So maybe that was...
Plus, he's a Rutgers guy. And he was a possession receiver.
I don't care about that. You better get some skip. You got enough possession guys.
Okay.
You better get somebody that's explosive to get out the field.
Then Jacob Hollister, of all those unknown tight ends, he was pretty good because he's catching a lot of balls for Russell Wilson. He's like become a clutch go-to guy, right? Belichick traded him. Why? I don't know. For a 7th-round pick, you traded him away. Could he have helped this team this year? You better believe he could. And how about Cordero Patterson? Every time I turned on the Bears, he was doing something sensational.
Well, Skip, he did something sensational for the Patriots.
He did.
But
he's gone.
But when you let
Bill
a guy...
said, nope, not going to pay, I'm not going to pay, I'm not going to pay. And then obviously Gronk retired.
Right.
Okay, look, how can Tom Brady have fun when you strapped him with the worst supporting cast, I believe, of any quarterback in the whole NFL? Let's do Ryan Fitzpatrick. Oh, guess what? That little Devontae Parker.